Okay, so first things first, if you're wondering why you should take any kind of advice from me, I briefly want to tell you that I have been uh, in a point where, at a time in my life where I was experiencing panic attacks like once a month, which I thought was normal, and I now know that that is not normal at all. And it eventually increased to like weekly panic attacks, which then I knew that that was very much a problem. And then over time, the anxiety had turned into depression. And, uh, when I was experiencing the anxiety, I felt like I was at a very low point in my life and I didn't think that it could get any worse. And then I experienced depression and I realized that it could definitely get worse. And I was at an all time low. Um, but now and nevertheless, though, nonetheless, I just want to say that I am extremely grateful for everything that I have gone through, everything that I have experienced, every person that I have met along the journey of my beautiful life, because it has made me into the person that I am today. And so I just want to take time to, explain to you guys some of the things that I've picked up on the way that have it made me who I am today, someone who genuinely appreciates life. And I feel happy every day to wake up, and my life is much more calm and at ease. And I genuinely feel like I receive the best of everything because I know that I am harmonious within. And so, yeah, so I just want to explain to you guys some things that I've picked up that have helped dramatically shift my mindset into the way that it is now. And so to begin, in the manifestation community, we hear a lot about the law of attraction and blah, blah, blah. And while I am going to talk about that briefly, I just want to start off by saying that not everybody fully understands how the law of attraction works. So I just want to break things down for you guys as simply as possible. Like, I really want you guys to easily understand what I'm saying, like without giving you any BS. And yeah, and hopefully you guys can really implement the knowledge that I um am going to preach to you guys on my channel, because I want us all to experience how I'm feeling and better. Um yeah. I just want us all to live in a better world, where we're happier and more grateful and just more in tune with our inner beings. Um, so to start, uh, to very simply explain the law of attraction, it really is just like attracts like. Um, the law of attraction will bring you things that are in alignment with your vibrational state. It will not bring you into alignment with the things that you want. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up, because they think that, once they start studying the law of attraction, people understand what it is that they want, and they expect the law of attraction to bring them the things that they want, but they don't understand that the law of attraction, the universe in general, does not listen to the words that come out of your mouth. The universe listens to your vibratory state, um, and it will bring you things in alignment with that. So you can pray to God all day asking for what you want. You can, pray your whole life asking for what you want, and still not receive it, because you're not going to get what you want just by verbally asking. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you are in vibrational alignment with. And what I mean by that is, we are naturally high vibrational beings. So we the things that make us feel good put us into our natural high vibrational state. The things, our thoughts, uh more, um in particular, our thoughts are what make us up and what make our world up, and the emotion behind those thoughts is what puts us into alignment with other things. So if we are thinking positive thoughts, and we're feeling good about it, then we are naturally in a high vibrational state, and we will naturally attract high vibrational things. Whereas, the opposite, if we are thinking negative thoughts, if we're, in that state of anxiety and or depression, which I was in before, and I know a lot of us are, um, then we are naturally going to receive more things that are in alignment with that low vibration, thus perpetuating the sequence of anxiety, the sequence of depression, the sequence of anger. Um, so, yeah, you're never gonna be able to manifest a high vibrational life if you are at a low frequency. Um, As we can see here, as we saw in the previous slide, like attracts like. High frequency will not attract low frequency. Low frequency will not attract a high frequency. Um, and okay, so let's say that you are in a low frequency state, right? You may, you might, right, attract some things that are in alignment with uh other high vibrational things, but you will not be able to keep those things because you're not vibrating at the same frequency of them. That's why a lot of times we see lottery winners, right? People who win the lottery, and they lose some money within like a year, and sometimes they're in a worse financial state, worse mental state than they were in before they got the money. Why? Because they were not in alignment with the wealth. They were at a low frequency to begin with, and then they received a whole bunch of money, not knowing how to properly use that wealth, and it sets them back further than where they had initially began. So these are some. Okay, first, sorry, there was like a spider crawling up on the wall. But first, I want to say that as humans, we do not actually want the things that we think that we want, right? We may think that we want a nice, beautiful house, a nice, beautiful mansion. We may think that we want an abundance of physical wealth. We may think that we want nice cars, whatever other physical object you can think of. You may think that you want that object, but you don't actually want that object. You want the emotion that you have tied to that object. You may think that having a lot of money, right, physical money, will bring you a sense of security, or will bring you a sense of joy, or a sense of excitement, right? You may think that these physical things may bring you those emotions. So that's what you actually want, is the emotion that you have tied to it. But you need to understand that you can achieve that emotion internally, whenever, wherever, right? And once you are in alignment with that emotion, then you will be in alignment with the physical aspect of it. You need to be internally aligned in order to be externally aligned, if that makes sense. In order to get and to keep the things that you want in the physical world, you have to be emotionally aligned with it. So, over here, I have a list of positive emotions, which are high vibrational emotions. As I said, we are high vibrational beings. So, when we experience these emotions, that's when we feel good. That is when we naturally attract the things that we want, the things that we think that we want, right? The physical things that we think that we want. But a lot of us are here in negative emotion states, and we are experiencing more things and people and circumstances that will perpetuate those negative emotions. So you guys can take some screenshots of these pages if you want to. Um, Now, I just want to, lastly say that the quickest way and probably one of the easiest ways for you to get in a high vibrational state and to remain in that high vibrational state is to understand that one, you are in control of your reality because you are in control of your emotions, and your emotions will determine your reality, right? And our emotions are determined by our thoughts. So, therefore, your thoughts will create emotions, the emotions will create your reality, right? So, since the thought is the basis of your reality, it is your job to be consciously aware of your thoughts, one, and two, make sure that you are continuously thinking positive thoughts. And really, it's not that hard because you just have to have one positive thought. And when you stay in that mindset of that positive thought, another like positive thought will come after that, right? This is where the law of attraction works in regards to our thoughts. Like attracts like. When you have a positive thought and you keep that in your mind, the law of attraction will then attract another positive thought and another positive thought and another positive thought, and that will continue to build up until you manifest something positive. Right now, what if along the way you have a positive thought and then another positive thought and then a negative thought? That's completely okay as long as you are aware of that negative thought and you switch it into a positive thought. Right? First, you deconstruct that negative thought. You tell yourself why it's negative, and really, you don't even have to have a long-winded conversation with yourself. I mean, you can if you like to. Sometimes I like to, but a negative emotion is confirmation that you're having a negative thought. Right? Like if the thought is not making you feel good, that is your inner being, that is God telling you, hey, that's not true. That's not true. Right? And the moment you understand that is the moment you can reconfirm that to yourself as many times as you need to until you get stuck in this positive thought loop. Obviously, we're going to have negative thoughts, but we need to be aware of them and deconstruct them and understand that we're having this negative thought because God is telling us that that is not true. God has created everything, your inner being has created everything for you in the best imaginable way possible, better than you can even imagine, because we are naturally high vibrational beings. Therefore, we are naturally in tune with everything that is high vibrational, which is the best of everything. So when you have a negative thought, that is you going against your inner being, which is has created everything beautifully for you, right? So when you do experience a negative emotion, you want to deconstruct that, tell yourself, hey, that's not true, and switch it. Think the exact opposite of it. Because a lot of times when you have a negative emotion, the exact opposite of that thought is true. So I want you to, next time you feel yourself having a negative thought, the moment you experience a negative thought or the moment that you catch it, think the exact opposite and notice how much better you will feel. And that good feeling is confirmation that that is the truth, right? Then you stay in that good feeling, and then law of attraction will attract another good thought and another good thought and another good thought until boom, you manifest something positive. But when you're not aware of how this works, you get stuck in a negative thought loop, in a negative downward spiral until you manifest something negative, and then you're upset about the negative manifestation. So you have more negative thoughts and you just continuously manifest negative things. You need to be aware of your thoughts, and you need to be aware that when you experience those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, is because it is not true. So Hope you guys like this video. It truly is my goal, my mission to empower and inspire you guys, because I do believe that I already live in a world where everyone is guided by their inner beings, and there's so much beauty and peace and harmony in the world. So I just want to, share some things that I have learned that I, really feel like I want to explain to you guys in a way that's as easy as possible. And I truly hope that you um, have finished this video with at least one thing that has stuck in your mind. And I would like to encourage you to apply the information that I have taught. And really, if there's one thing that I could say, is just really to remember that any negative thought and any negative emotion you experience, you are experiencing that bad feeling within you, that bad thought, because your inner being is telling you that it is not true. So I really, really highly encourage you to, when you think negative thoughts, immediately think the opposite, the exact opposite of that, and just imagine how, and just notice how much better you feel. You may not feel in a state of complete bliss or complete joy, but you will feel better. You will feel better. And that's the whole process, is feeling better and better and better and better and better. Right? We have to start somewhere. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope you have the most amazing day.